Most people spend their entire lives chasing money, saving it, protecting it, worrying about it, and then one day after 60, something surprising happens. You realize money didn't solve the problems you thought it would. Yes, money matters. You need it to live. But quietly, without warning, four other things begin to matter more than money ever did. Things that decide whether your later years feel peaceful or empty, connected or lonely, meaningful or forgotten. And the tragedy is this: many people reach retirement financially prepared, but emotionally, mentally, and socially unprepared. Today, we're going to talk about the four things that matter more than money after 60, why so many people ignore them, the problems that appear when they're missing, and how to strengthen them starting right now, no matter where you are in life. We grow up believing a simple story: work hard, earn more, save enough, retire happily. Money becomes the scoreboard for success. But after 60, the rules of the game change. Your time feels different. Your energy feels different. Your priorities shift. And slowly you begin to understand something most people never say out loud. Money supports life, but it does not create a life. The happiest older adults are not always the wealthiest. They are the ones rich in the right places. Let's talk about the four areas that quietly determine whether your later years feel deeply fulfilling or painfully hollow. Let's start with the most powerful thing of all: relationships. Not how many people you know, not how many contacts are in your phone, not how many holiday cards arrive in December, but who truly knows you, who notices when your voice sounds tired, who remembers your stories without being reminded, who can sit with you in silence without making it uncomfortable. After 60, relationships change, whether we want them to or not. Work friendships slowly fade, daily routines disappear, people move closer to their children or farther away. Health limits energy, driving, and spontaneity. And before you realize it, your social circle becomes smaller, not because you failed, not because you did anything wrong, but because life quietly rearranged itself. Here's the problem no one prepares you for. Loneliness can exist even when you're surrounded by people. You can have family and still feel unseen. You can attend gatherings and still feel unheard. You can smile, nod, and participate while feeling emotionally invisible. And this isn't just emotional discomfort. Research consistently shows that chronic loneliness is as harmful to your health as smoking, obesity, or physical inactivity. It significantly increases the risk of depression. It accelerates cognitive decline. It raises the chances of heart disease, and it is linked to earlier mortality. This means loneliness is not a weakness. It's not all in your head. It's a real biological stress on the body. And here's the hard truth: money cannot protect you from loneliness. A large house does not fill an empty room. A comfortable retirement does not replace meaningful conversation. A full calendar does not guarantee emotional connection. What truly matters after 60 is not expanding your social life, but deepening it. You don't need 10 people, you need one or two. Someone you can speak honestly with without performing. Someone who listens without immediately fixing or judging. Someone you can laugh with effortlessly without explaining yourself. That kind of connection calms the nervous system. It reminds your brain that you are safe, valued, and still part of something. Now here's the empowering part: the solution. Be intentional. At this stage of life, relationships rarely just happen. They are built gently, deliberately, and with courage. Call instead of texting. A real voice carries warmth that words on a screen cannot. Invite instead of assuming. Most people are waiting for someone else to make the first move. Listen more than you speak. Being fully present is one of the rarest gifts you can give and receive. And don't underestimate new connections. Friendships after 60 can actually be lighter and more honest. There's less pressure, less pretending, less competition. These relationships are chosen, not forced by work or circumstance, and that makes them powerful. Think of relationships as emotional nutrition. Without them, your strength fades, your motivation weakens, your joy shrinks quietly. But when they're present, even in small amounts, everything else becomes easier to carry. At this stage of life, connection is not optional. It is essential, and it is never too late to begin again. This one surprises many people. After retirement, many wake up one morning and think, now what? For decades, your usefulness was clear. Your job needed you. People depended on you. Your days had structure. Then suddenly, it's gone. And while freedom feels good at first, something slowly creeps in, a quiet sense of irrelevance. The problem isn't boredom. It's the feeling that you are no longer needed. And this feeling is dangerous. When people lose a sense of purpose, they often experience low motivation depression, faster physical decline, loss of identity. Purpose doesn't mean productivity, it means mattering. The solution for this is, you don't need a job. You need a reason to wake up, a reason to care, a reason to engage. Purpose after 60 often looks like mentoring, volunteering, creating something, caring for others. Learning deeply, purpose does not need applause. It needs meaning. The moment you feel useful again, your posture changes, your voice changes, your energy returns. Money can fund activities, but purpose fuels life. Thing 3, health, especially mental and emotional health. We talk a lot about physical health, blood pressure, cholesterol, medications, doctor visits. But we talk far less about mental and emotional health. And after 60, the truth is simple and unavoidable. The two become inseparable. Your body slows down, recovery takes longer, sleep becomes lighter, energy is more selective. Small physical issues that were once easy to ignore now feel bigger, heavier, and more disruptive. But here's what many people don't realize. When mental and emotional health are neglected, everything feels heavier. A stiff joint feels unbearable. A bad night's sleep feels like a crisis. A minor setback feels overwhelming. Not because you're weak, but because your inner reserves are depleted. The most common problem after 60 is not illness, it's silent suffering. People tell themselves, this is just aging. I shouldn't complain. Others have it worse. I should be grateful. So they push down what they're feeling, anxiety that hums in the background, sadness that comes and goes without explanation, a loss of motivation they can't name, emotional numbness where joy once lived. They don't talk about it. They don't seek help. They wait for it to pass. But untreated emotional strain doesn't fade. It compounds. Stress becomes chronic instead of temporary. Sleep becomes fragmented and unrefreshing. The immune system weakens under constant tension. Pain feels sharper. Energy drains faster. This is not imagination. This is physiology. The nervous system cannot distinguish between emotional stress and physical danger. It reacts the same way. And no amount of money can override that response. Money can buy health care, it can buy medication, it can bring comfort, but it cannot buy peace of mind. Peace comes from emotional regulation, connection, and inner safety. So here's the shift that changes everything. Treat mental health as maintenance, not emergency repair. Don't wait until you break down. Don't wait until despair becomes visible. Don't wait until someone else notices. Talk about how you feel without minimizing it. Seek support without shame. Normalize emotional care the same way you normalize brushing your teeth or taking a walk. This does not mean therapy is the only answer. It means daily emotional hygiene. Small habits practiced consistently. Movement, even gentle walking signals safety to the brain. Sunlight. Natural light regulates mood and sleep cycles. Routine. Predictability calms the nervous system. Social contact. Brief conversations still count. Quiet reflection. Moments of stillness allow emotions to surface and release. Your nervous system needs safety. Your mind needs stimulation. Your heart needs expression. When these needs are met, resilience returns. You cope better. You recover faster. You feel lighter. Even when life is heavy, a calm mind does not just feel better. It adds years to life. A distressed mind quietly subtracts them. Protecting your emotional health after 60 is not indulgence. It is wisdom, and it may be the most powerful investment you ever make. Thing 4, time and presence. Here's the great paradox. You finally have more time, but less of it ahead. After 60, time feels more valuable than money, and yet many people spend it unconsciously. They worry about the future, regret the past, rush moments that should be savored. The problem isn't lack of time, it's lack of presence. You can be retired and still mentally exhausted. You can be free and still distracted. Money cannot buy attention. It cannot slow moments. It cannot bring you back into the now. The solution: learn to be present. Slow your pace. Notice small pleasures. Protect your attention. Presence turns ordinary moments into meaningful ones. A quiet morning, a familiar walk, a simple meal, a shared story. When you're present, life feels fuller, even if it's simpler. Time is not something you manage. It's something you inhabit. Money matters, it always will. But after 60, money becomes a tool, not the goal. What truly determines your quality of life is the depth of your relationships, the strength of your purpose, the care of your mental and emotional health, the way you experience time. Neglect these, and wealth feels empty. Nurture them, and even modest means feel rich. Ask yourself honestly, who do I feel connected to? What gives my days meaning? How am I caring for my inner world? Am I truly present in my own life? These answers matter more than any number in a bank account. If this video resonated with you, take a moment to like it and subscribe to the channel for more thoughtful conversations about life, mindset, and meaning after 60. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 matters most to you right now, and why? Your experience might help someone else feel less alone. Thank you for spending this time with me.